In this example, we're going to be calculating range. And so let's talk about our drawing here and try to figure out what information we have. This point right here is the launching point, and so I will launch some projectile from this point. The target is over here at this point, so this is where we want our launched item to land. We have the distance, the x direction, and the distance in the y direction to that point. We do not have the distance in a direct line as defined by range in this drawing for that item. So that's what we're going to be calculating. There's a couple of different ways we can do this. The first way is by using the range formula. And so the range formula is range is equal to initial velocity squared times the sine of 2 theta divided by acceleration due to gravity. All right, so that's the first way. The other way to define range, and the way we're going to use in this problem, because we do not know what angle theta is and we do not know what initial velocity is we are going to use triangulation. Because we do have these x and y coordinates, we can triangulate the position. And so x in our case is just Pythagorean's theorem, a squared plus b squared, the square root. And so again, in our problem, we'll go ahead and label these as range formulas. In our problem, we're going to use x is equal to a squared plus b squared, the square root of that. So we input our data. A is 153.44 squared plus b is negative 24.49 squared, the square root of that. We calculate and we get 155.38. So what that is telling us is that from this point in a straight line, if we were to measure it from our launch point to our target, it's 155.38 meters. Now, one thing that you need to do is look at this number. It should be larger because in a right triangle, the hypotenuse is always the longest side. So it should be longer than the longest side. And so it is, and these numbers kind of make sense. So it's not very long on this side, so that number makes sense as an answer. So that's one thing that you can do to help see if you are on the right track. Double check your answers.